Morning, Andrew.
Hey, morning, Vincent.
You haven't practiced your Cantonese in this show.
Not
recently.
for a while. Not for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keyword for today? Cantonese.
Cantonese. All right.
You know the Cantonese for the word Cantonese?
广东话?
Yes, or 广府话.
Wow.
Yeah.
19 years, never heard that one.
广东话.
广东话, that one I know.
广东话.
Yeah, 广东话.
That's okay. All right.
Okay,
All right. Why are we talking about Cantonese?
Oh, because, okay, here's my
We want
question.
to talk about Canadian. I
Well,
thought.
here's my question. Can localism transcend the local?
Oh.
Localism is spreading out of Hong Kong. Something that was born as a uniquely Hong Kong phenomena, although you might argue there's a Taiwanese version of it. But now it seems to be spreading across the Pacific. And The Economist ran a little story about this in their latest edition.
Mm-hmm.
And what is happening back in one of my hometowns, Vancouver, right? Hong Kong, of course, Vancouver, and I got Montreal's got a special place in my heart. So what is going on there? The University of British Columbia, right? In Vancouver, arguably the most Chinese city in Canada by population per head. Toronto actually has more Chinese.
Yep.
But Vancouver has a higher concentration.
Percentage-wise.
Yes, and UBC is probably like the epicenter of Chinese Canada in terms of universities, right? Hey, Canadians know this.
No negative feelings attached.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. My wife's a graduate. She went there. She was before the big Tiananmen Square wave.
Yeah.
But okay, so UBC, strangely enough, is one of the universities that does not have a Confucius Institute.
Oh.
Not only that, but they have rebuffed the approaches of the Confucius Institute 4 times. Said, no thanks. Right? The Confucius Institute went out there. They're starting to get kicked out of universities here and there. But UBC always said no. But instead, this September, for the first time in decades, they are going to be offering Cantonese language courses, introductory, starting from ground zero, Cantonese language courses, which were apparently funded by philanthropists from Hong Kong to the tune of $2 million Canadian dollars, which, the Canadian dollar is down a bit. We're talking maybe 13, 14 million Hong Kong dollars, right? So the question, can localism transcend the local, right? I think is interesting because now it seems to be made a little hop across the pond.
If you have the economic
to
power.
Vancouver. If you have the economic power, which goes to another...
You know what? Even the Confucius Institute is all about economic power and donation and whether the university is desperate for donation and all that.
Well, and not even desperate for donations. I mean, a lot of very prestigious and wealthy schools took the Confucius Institute on.
Oh, yes.
And it wasn't about, not because they needed the money, but because, it was kind of like, ooh, Mandarin, we all got to, like Japanese in the 80s, we got to learn it. But when they got there, they found that the Confucius Institute people had some fairly unsavory practices in terms of, trying to influence hiring and making sure the right people were in. But of course, the right people were like, toe the Beijing line, and the wrong people were people who didn't agree.
And at that point, they have to figure out whether they need the money.
Yeah.
So I think that the gist of the problem is if localism has to spread further, they need the money. And where did the money come from?
And I mean, this is an interesting question because the impression is like, oh, localism, those crazy kids that are talking about the nostalgia that they weren't even born until after the handover. But, it's just all these wild kids in the street. Somebody with 13 to 14 million Hong Kong dollars is not some crazy kid in the street. That's somebody with some coin. And somebody who has a little bit of localist style pride, even if, they may or may not call it that.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, I want to promote Cantonese because Vancouver is getting the same thing as Hong Kong, where Mandarin is supplanting Cantonese as the dominant Chinese language. And there seems to be some appetite for some pushback.
Well,
by people with money. So that's interesting.
My experience is, look at the students' publication.
Okay, at UBC.
At UBC.
Okay.
And you will see how different language sphere
is. Well, maybe that'll be one to go and investigate.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be one to go and investigate. I mean, that could be quite interesting as well. I mean, the university definitely has changed. You go after the post-Tiananmen Square wave of Chinese that went to Vancouver. It was a lot of middle class, a lot of professionals and their kids. But the new wave, the new kind of new name for UBC. There have been a couple of different variations over the years related to the Chinese content, but the new one is University of Beautiful Cars. because there are so many rich kids from the mainland there with like Lamborghinis and like it's like this town now, but just on campus.
But you know what? Even the Hong Kong immigrants.
Google it. University of Beautiful Cars.
They bought beautiful cars.
Yes, yeah. I know, but I mean,
I've heard another one. Just to close this,
sure.
You know, Coca-Cola approached UBC once.
Okay.
They want to buy the short form, the acronyms
UBC.
Of UBC. Yes.
For
you buy Coke.
I hope they told them no. I'm sure they did.
They throw them out.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Catch you later.